and we'll do it the best to get to each of them. So I want to start off by thanking all of the participants for joining us. We're going to share some important information, critical certainly for those who are currently on unemployment insurance benefits, namely federal extension programs. My name is Ricky Serna, and I'm the Acting Cabinet Secretary for the Department of Workforce Solutions. A little bit later, I'll be joined by others, namely the Secretary for Higher Education Department, Stephanie Rodriguez, and others who we may punt questions to so that you get the most comprehensive answer possible on anything you might need to know. So without further ado, Stacy, if you will please get us to the first slide, we can kick things off. Wonderful. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things, the first of which is the termination of federal unemployment programs, and of course, the opportunity that this runway presents for several who are looking to reskill, upskill, pivot professionally, and the resources available for you to do that. We'll start first with the critical timelines. All federal unemployment programs related to the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, will end September 4th. And this is, again, that opportunity. We started a couple months ago, if not sooner, communicating to claimants by way of direct messaging, press releases, social media posts, and for a while, even direct text messaging, that the federal extension programs are going to expire on September 4th. And for many, in fact, for the majority of claimants currently on unemployment insurance, it's going to have a significant impact, if not an end to program eligibility, and we'll go through that. So on September 4th is the last day of federal extended benefits for the PUA, FPUC, PEUC, PEUC-A, and MEUC programs. And the 5th, the day after, will be the last week, the Sunday, for certification of these programs, okay? And it will also mark the start of the waiting week, all right, which is standard for administration of state unemployment benefit programs. Next slide, please. So we're gonna go through those programs so you understand what each acronym here stands for and which programs specifically are impacted. The FPUC program, otherwise known as the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation Program, is the benefit that provides claimants with an additional $300 per week if that claimant is eligible for at least $1 of base weekly benefit amount earnings, okay? So essentially, the additional $300, okay, for claimants is going away, which means that if you're on a program other than regular unemployment compensation, right, that $300 and the end of your program will result in zero benefit eligibility. So the last payable week for FPUC will be September 4th. All claimants, whether you remain on regular unemployment or if you come off a federal extension benefit program, you will no longer receive the additional $300 per week. Next slide. The next program, the largest in terms of claimants impacted, is the Pandemic Unemployment Compensation Program. And I say it's the largest impact because certainly the FPUC is being awarded to all claimants, but for PUA, it results in no benefit eligibility for claimants. So provides benefits for claimants who are not otherwise for regular unemployment insurance, for example, self-employed, contract workers, or gig economy workers. So for those of you on PUA, this is the program that didn't exist before the pandemic. It provided opportunities for those who were not eligible for regular benefits to receive benefits, okay? And the overwhelming majority of those eligible claimants were self-employed, contract, or gig economy workers. Like with FPUC, the last payable week for PUA will be week ending September 4th. Now, it's important to note that for 30 days after September 4th, we will be required to continue to take new applications for PUA, so long that the period of unemployment benefits requested is before September 4th, which means that that does not mean that if you are on PUA, you are eligible for PUA for 30 days. It means that if you are going to file a new PUA claim, all right, meaning that you're not receiving benefits now and you need to file a new claim as a new claimant, you can do that so long that is for a period, all right, prior to September 4th, which is otherwise known as a backdate. So we can go back as far as February. All right, that's the furthest possible of 2021. And if you're filing that new claim, you must demonstrate, going back to whatever date you request, that your employment as a self-employed contract worker, gig economy worker, was impacted by the pandemic. The struggle with doing that, of course, is justifying why, if you were impacted by the pandemic prior to September 4th, you waited until September 4th to become a new claimant. So those are just some things that we'll be considering in the processing of new applications for PUA in the 30 days following September 4th. Next slide. The third program impacted is the PEUC-A, Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program, otherwise known as the extension of benefits, right? It provided claimants, right, with additional benefit weeks, combined 26. So it's the extension of benefits after standard unemployment compensation benefits have been exhausted. The last payable week for these programs will be September 4th. Claimants currently on regular UI, what we refer to as STUI, okay, will not be eligible for this extension for weeks of full or partial unemployment beginning September 4th, which means that if you are still on a regular STUI claim, you have not yet exhausted those weeks of eligibility, you will not move on to PEUC, PEUC-A after September 4th. Starting on September 5th, however, if you are on PEUC or PEUC-A currently, you may be eligible for extended benefits, which is an additional 13 weeks. In order to be eligible for those extended benefits, right, you must be on either one of those programs, and you must not have received federal extended benefits 1, all right? So those are two primary criteria for eligibility of federal extended benefits 2 after September 4th. Thank you. Next slide. All right, the next program is Mixed Earner Unemployment Compensation, otherwise referred to as MEUC. It is a program that provides an additional $100 a week to claimants who have both self-employment and W-2 wages on their claim, all right? So like the other programs, the last payable week for MEUC will be September 4th, okay? Week ending September 4th. Next slide. Okay, this first bullet is critical. The programs that we just discussed will end on September 4th regardless, okay, if a claimant has a balance on their claim. So if you log into your account now and say, well, I'm on PUA and I still have $2,000 worth of benefits, so I'm at least going to get that much, even if it takes me through the end of September, that is not true. So if you have a balance that has not been paid on September 4th, then you will not be paid out that balance, right? Unless you're eligible for an additional program like federal extended benefits 2. Claimants who are waiting to receive any eligibility determination, meaning that your claim is in adjudication, it's in appeals, or any other state, right? Waiting for an eligibility determination, okay? If it is determined that benefits are owed to you prior to September 4th, okay, for which you've certified and have been determined eligible, if that eligibility is determined after September 4th, you will receive your benefits, right? So what we're basically saying is that if you apply for benefits prior to September 4th and a determination of eligibility is not made until after September 4th, whatever benefits you're entitled to will be paid to you, right? For pending your certification for those benefits, which means that you're certifying that you're reporting your income, you're reporting that you were able and available, and where applicable, you're reporting that you did in fact complete work search requirements for the weeks where that was required, all right? So it's important to put an asterisk next to that. You must have been able to be available to take suitable work. You did complete your work search requirements for the period in which it was required. And certainly, of course, you didn't have any income to report that would otherwise impact your eligibility. All right, so next slide. Now, we want to be sure that you're aware of the resources available to you as you start re-entering the workforce, okay? So we, of course, are going to shift the focus now from the programs that are going to expire to the opportunities that exist, the resources available to help you get back into the workforce, right? So these links here, okay, are important. We have a YouTube channel. You'll see the link there. It's youtube.com NMDWS, or you can search NMDWS when you get to YouTube. We have an instructional video on how to utilize our online job system, including creating your account, uploading a resume, and conducting work searches. We have a video on higher education opportunities, which focus on in-demand occupations like healthcare, STEM, IT, and education. And then, of course, for those of you that are already getting back to work, we have a presentation on COVID-safe practices for employers. That's valuable in the event that you feel as though your employers are not providing a COVID-safe environment for you to function in. We also have resources available on the NMDWS website, including Hot Jobs, which is a weekly video that features available positions in your region. It highlights employers who are looking to hire quickly, provides you with an overview of those positions, including pay and the type of work that you'll be doing. And there's also a link on the DWS website that provides you with information on job fairs and upcoming employment events that are taking place in your area, or that may be taking place virtually, that provides information about jobs that are available in your area or generally across the state. So we hope that you access the website, you access the resources, including the jobs portal, which of course provides you with access to the more than 60,000 jobs that are currently being advertised across the state of New Mexico. And then of course, on the next slide and the second portion of this presentation, I'm going to hand things off to Secretary Rodriguez, who's going to provide you with an overview of a project that was developed specifically for the period of time and after when the state was going to begin reopening the economy post-pandemic. So Secretary Rodriguez, it's all yours.
Thank you, Secretary Serna. I appreciate the opportunity to partner here with you today. As my colleague said, I'm Stephanie Rodriguez, and I am the Cabinet Secretary of the New Mexico Higher Education Department, which oversees our colleges and universities right here in New Mexico. So this is the first of its kind initiative between the Higher Education Department and the Department of Workforce Solutions to help New Mexicans get into careers right here at home. ReadyNM is the first of its kind resource for New Mexicans that put both the job search and career education opportunities at your fingertips at our website, which is ready.nm.gov. We are connecting New Mexicans to training and degree programs in high demand sectors with real workforce data and job openings available on the website. Whether you're just starting out or looking to retrain, we highly encourage you to visit ready.nm.gov to go ahead and see what options are available to you in your counties. Next slide, please. As we continue to support our economy and begin to reopen, there are two things that we can think about right now, and that's employment opportunities in your communities. There are over 100,000 jobs available right now across the state, or you can reskill or upskill. What does that mean? That means go back to school and get educated in a high demand field or retrain in another field as well. This can be accomplished at any public or college or university across the state. Next slide. And as I stated, there are over 100,000 job vacancies in New Mexico. We have more than 500 career training and degree programs, including high demand industries. We have 46 apprenticeship programs and state scholarships, including $18 million from the Opportunity Scholarship, which covers certificate, associate, and bachelor degree programs for both full-time and part-time folks. What does that mean? If you need to work and go to school, you can do that and qualify for the Opportunity Scholarship. Next slide. Now, I mentioned those high demand industries. What are those? That includes healthcare, STEM careers, including engineers and technicians, IT and software development, construction and trades, and of course, educators, whether it be an educational assistant, social workers, or licensed teachers in our classrooms. Next slide. So how can we help you at a time that works? For you? That's easy. We have career counselors through the New Mexico Workforce Connections that are ready to help. You can visit our website to do your research first, and we can also help you find what training, education, or career fields spark your interest. You can call us at 1-800-303-3599. Or if you're an introvert like me and don't want to give us a call, you can use the chat box function located at the bottom right-hand side of the website when you visit ready.nm.gov. And these are real folks that can help you, not just robots. Next slide. There are other training resources and financial support that I would like to highlight that you can see on your screen. We have weekly professional development workshops through the Department of Workforce Solutions. They're virtual and easy to get to, and they help you with your resume writing, interview skills, and soft skills. Like I said before, the Opportunity Scholarship lets any student qualify to have their tuition and fees covered for certificate, associate, and bachelor degree programs, and you can go to school full-time or part-time. We only have $18 million available for this program, so you want to get on top of it as soon as possible. Additionally, we also have more state financial aid available on our website, freecollegenm.org. I did not put it in this presentation, but I'll type it into the chat. Again, that's freecollegenm.org to find more information about our scholarship programs. And there is funding for classes and equipment for areas of high need through federal WIOA dollars. And last, I encourage everybody, if you're going to go back to school to train or educate, to fill out your FAFSA. That's the free student aid portal in which you can qualify for state or federal financial aid here in New Mexico. Next slide. And I have to note that Ready NM is a partnership also with our colleges and universities as well. Remember, colleges and universities are more flexible than ever before in our history. Depending on your field of interest, there may be online education options, hybrid classes with both an online and in-person component. And then there's also classes that are 100% in person. So these are options that can work for you and what you're doing at this point in time. Next slide. I also have to note that we have partnered with Santa Fe Community College, San Juan College, and New Mexico State University's branch campuses to also provide fast-track training programs that are free of cost to a participant. I'll be sure to link that information in the chat box after my presentation as well. And there are over 46 apprenticeship programs right here in New Mexico that provide on-the-job training with industry leaders. You can visit my partner's website. It's really easy. It's dws.state.nm.us/apprenticeship. And so what does this mean? This means that New Mexico is ready, and we're also ready to help you find an education or training program in your county or connect you with job opportunities in your hometown. This is all available on our website where the data is pulled in, and it's a comprehensive process in which all you have to do is put in the county you want to work in, the field you want to work in, and every single job opportunity comes up for you. So go to ready.nm.gov to explore those options today. And next slide. There it is. Not going to repeat it since you can see it on your screen. And I believe the next section, Secretary Cerna, are questions.
That's right. Thank you very much, Secretary. So as I mentioned earlier, please put any questions that you would like to have answered in the QA. We are going to tag team the questions portion. So Stacy, who's moderating, will read the question. We'll fight over who gets a chance to answer it for you. And then we'll keep moving through them as quickly as possible and get to as many as possible. So our moderator, if you want to go with the first question, please.
Sure, thank you. So the first question is, we know if these jobs are hiring in a timely manner. I have applied for several county and state jobs and haven't heard a thing since June and forward.
Michelle, why don't you field that?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So with jobs with the state or any kind of government jobs, those do tend to take just a little bit longer. But if you were to call or come in and make an appointment for our services in one of our workforce connection offices, we can definitely help you see where you are in the process and help speed things along. It could have been something maybe in the application process that is being held up, but we can definitely help you if you want to come into one of our workforce connection offices, call to make an appointment. We'd be more than happy to, like I said, walk you through and see where you are in the process and see how we can help you be gainfully employed pretty quickly.
Yeah, I actually, I want to just kind of add to that. Also, one of my other responsibilities is overseeing the state personnel office. And if you have applied for a job with the state of New Mexico and a few weeks has gone by and you have not yet seen an update on your share application, which should occur once the application process moves from one step to the other, please don't hesitate to reach out to the state personnel office so that we can check on the status. We can nudge the agencies to move more quickly to be sure that we're not risking the loss of really good applicants who can come and help us out.
Thank you. And this one might also be for Michelle. Are fully virtual, fully remote employment and education opportunities available?
Yes, actually they are. Again, we can help you if you want to call the Ready New Mexico number that was offered. That number is 1-800-303-3599. One of our career consultants can definitely walk you through what your interests are and help you determine what courses, what is available virtually as far as training, school, as well as jobs. There's a lot of jobs out there that are virtual, that are telework. So let us help you. Call the Ready New Mexico number, as well as you can come into our workforce connection offices and we can help you find that virtual training, and we can help you with that, that telework employment.
Secretary Rodriguez, did you want to talk a little bit about your understanding of online higher ed programs across the state?
Yeah, I saw that somebody actually asked that in the Q&A section as well. So there are programs that are 100% remote at this time, both at our 4-year and our 2-year institutions. Some of those are actually labeled on the Ready New Mexico website. So if you go to ready.nm.gov, you go to the education tab and then look at the training and education programs. You can then start to play around with the fields you're interested in, and there will be a box that pops up that will tell you if it's 100% online, hybrid, or in person. And we also can connect you to the higher education institution itself, where they can guide you through which programs are 100% online, which ones require in-person because it's tied to licensure and things like that. But like I said, now more than ever, many of our certificate and 2-year programs without that licensure component really are online, except for a couple things that require you to come in, such as testing.
Thank you, Secretary. The next question is, will regular unemployment benefits still continue?
Yes, yes. The question to that is yes. If you continue to have eligible weeks on a STUI claim, standard unemployment insurance, then you'll continue to be required to conduct work search, report that on your weekly certifications, and of course, any wages earned until your 26 weeks of eligibility has exhausted. Or you find work, ideally.
The next question is, how do you reapply for PEUC benefits?
I think you're asking, how do you reapply for, meaning after they're over? So
Yes.
the answer to that question is you cannot. If you are on PEUC or PEUC-A, your federal program will end on September 4th. Recall, if you are on PEUC or PEUC-A, you may be eligible for extended benefits if you did not receive extended benefits 1. So, but you may not reapply or continue with PEUC or PEUC-A benefits after September 4th.
Okay, the next question is, I'm currently going to Santa Fe Community College and should graduate in the spring of 2022. I'm on standard unemployment and have applied for WIOA and DVR for paying for school. Will this affect my unemployment?
I can go ahead and answer that.
Please.
Harry Turner. So if you are going to school and you are not through the WIOA program or one of the approved training programs that the department has, then you do still have to meet your eligibility requirements for work and be available at least 20 hours a week and actively seeking work. If you're not able to do that, or you're not on an approved training program, then it would affect your unemployment benefits.
Thank you. Next question is, I am self-employed business owner. Sometime back, I was advised that self-employed were not required to do the work search since we have a job as a business owner. Is that still the case?
No, that's not the case. When we reinstated the work search requirements earlier this summer, the requirements were expected across the board despite the program you were on. So we did do a webinar shortly after lifting the work search waiver, provided some examples that self-employed gig economy workers could engage in terms of work search activities and how to report those specifically on the weekly certification. So if you're a PUA claimant receiving benefits, you do have to submit proof and attest to having completed 2 eligible work search activities weekly in order to continue to be eligible for benefits.
And for the self-employed, those types of work searches can be, you put in a bid for a job, you went in and you did some type of networking and you talked to a specific person about possibly having business. All that type of work searches that you would do to find business for yourself, those are the type of activities that you would be giving us each week for those work search activities as a self-employed.
Yeah, the next question is there a way to make an appointment to go in and speak with somebody at the state personnel office?
Great question. So our office is open to the general public. So if you would like to speak with someone, it would be just as easy to call or email. However, if you need help with sitting at a workstation to complete the application, we do have kiosks available so that you can come in, and if you need assistance with moving through the process, we can certainly have someone sit with you until the application process is complete. What you may want to do, and I encourage, is before you come in to do that, give us a call so that we can let you know what information you'll need so that you'll be prepared to start and finish it all in one visit.
Jeanette, this one's for you. I'm currently on PEUC-A. How do I know if I've used FTEB1? Can I see this if I log into my account?
So you can see this if you log into your account. You're going to log in. You're going to click on view and maintain account information. You're going to go to payment history. And on the payment history, you're going to look through the different screens to see if there was a payment that was paid out on FDEB1, or if you received all of your payments just on STUI or the PEUC, PEUC-A programs. Once FDEB2 becomes available, if you are not eligible for it, you will not have a link to apply. So that's going to be the key. If you have a link to apply, then you can apply for that benefit. If the link is not there, then you are not eligible.
Thank you. The next question is, so if I'm on standard unemployment, we will continue to receive unemployment minus the 300, correct?
That is correct. If you continue to remain eligible, meaning the work search, your income reporting, your weekly certifications for all of that is disclosed. That's correct if you have eligibility weeks remaining.
Can you explain how I apply for PUA after the programs end?
Two things. One is if you are already on PUA, all right, you may not reapply for PUA after the programs end. If you are not on PUA, then you may complete a claim, all right, on the online claim system or by calling our 877 line. In order to be eligible for PUA, you must first file a standard unemployment insurance claim and then be deemed ineligible for that claim in order to be presented with the PUA link. So again, if you're currently on PUA, you may not reapply after September 4th. All right. If you are not currently on PUA, then at any time you can go in and file the standard unemployment insurance claim on our UI online system or through the 877 number.
Is the labor office open for in-person appointments/visits? I think this might be referring to the unemployment side as well as the employment services side.
Sure, I'll let Michelle answer that.
Yes, thank you. So the Workforce Connection offices are open for appointments and visits in person. You can call the office of which you're trying to get an appointment, or you can make an appointment also online. And I can put that in the chat of the appointment form, simple appointment form. And we are responding to those appointment requests via online within 24 business hours. So if you send anything today, we should be responding to you by tomorrow with a time to set you up to come into our offices. As far as the unemployment offices, everything is still virtual, is still a call center. So we are not open for in person. Everything is facilitated via the call center for unemployment.
Right. Thanks, Michelle. I just wanted to reiterate that. So if you're having issues with an unemployment insurance claim, the most appropriate place to get help is through the 877 line at the call center. We've actually, over the last month, have been doing a tremendous job answering calls from claimants, especially after 11 o'clock and especially Tuesday through Friday, when we're able to successfully answer all the calls that get into the queue. So please be sure to utilize the 877 number if you need help with unemployment insurance.
Next question is, if I have an appeal hearing that's scheduled for after September 4th, will that still happen or will it be canceled because benefits end?
Go ahead, Jeanette.
So all appeal hearings will continue as they are currently scheduled. If you have any benefits that are currently denied due to that original decision, once your appeal is heard and the appeals tribunal makes that determination, if you are eligible for any weeks prior to September 4th, then we will release the payment for both the FPUC program and the PEUC, PEUC-A, or PUA, depending on which one you're qualifying for. But those payments that are on hold due to that appeal, if it is reversed in your favor, we will release those as long as you continue to certify, meet your work search requirements. Any of those weeks will be released after it's determined in your favor.
Thank you. The next question is, I currently have a 4-year degree and I'm going to get a certification in billing and coding. I was told that DWS would not be able to help me. I have already paid for my online classes, but was only asking for the work search requirements so I can finish my online classes and get certified. This is expanding my knowledge base. How can these programs benefit me?
So unfortunately, we cannot waive your work search requirement because you are going to school on your own. you are not going to school through the WIOA program or the state approved apprenticeship program. So those are the only programs that we're allowed to waive work search requirements. Otherwise, you will still have to meet them while you're in school.
Will this webinar be considered as part of the job search and listed when we certify on Sunday?
No, it will not constitute as one of the work search activities.
Is there a timeline on resolution when I submit my ID verification to unlock my claim?
Great question. That if you're encountering problems that stem from an issue with this weekend certification, then we're going to try and get that resolved very, very quickly, if not by the end of the week, very quickly, shortly thereafter. But we implemented a measure that helps with security against fraudulent attempts to file claims or claim takeovers. And that did cause a delay either in the certification process or an auto lock for ID verification. So if you've encountered an issue related to this weekend's certification, then we're aware of the issue. We're working very quickly to get that resolved. Otherwise, if it's outside of this weekend, then again, calling the 877 number, what we've done is cross-trained a significant amount of staff, if not all of them, on how to complete the ID verification issue, assuming that you all have already uploaded the qualifying documents onto your claim. That's the most important part that you have done before you call us, is uploading those documents so that we can query them and see that they've been submitted.
Next question is, I sent in a fax of my current union status, but I still get a message that I am missing that document. Any suggestions?
Jeanette, for the Union Hall exemption?
Yes, sir, I was having mute problems. You will want to go ahead and call into the operations center at the 877-664-6984 number to let the customer service know that you are a union member, so that they can verify that we received the document and we can go ahead and work on that union waiver for you to get it onto your claim.
Thank you. The next question is, I still have a job, but my boss hasn't opened the office back up yet. How does this affect the job search requirements?
So if it's been greater than 4 weeks since your boss has had the building or office closed, you do still have to meet work search requirements and look for at least 2 jobs each week for a minimum of 20 hours a week. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to waive that work search requirement if your employer has not reopened at this time.
Again, Secretary Cerna, you may have already addressed this, or I know you already have, but just for clarification, the next question is, if I'm on PEUC-A, will I continue to receive benefits minus the $300 after September 4th?
Correct. No, you will not. If you're on PEUC-A, the only opportunity for you to receive any benefits, which will also be minus the $300, is if you receive the link for federal extended benefits 2, which means that you did not receive at any point federal extended benefits 1 on that claim. So be sure, right, that if that link is available, you apply. If not, then it means you're not eligible, which of course at that juncture, right, your window for getting work is shrinking and closing very quickly.
Next question is, if I was on FDEB1 but was moved to PEUC and the amount I received on FDEB1 was determined an overpayment and refunded by reducing the balance of my PEUC program, am I still considered to have been on FDEB1?
The answer to that is going to be no. So if we originally paid you on the FDEB1 program, but then once the ARPA programs became effective and we switched you back to PEUC-A, it credited all that money back for the EB program. So those people would be eligible for EB2.
Thank you. Next question is, if you were on If you are going to school in an approved status already, will you continue getting your unemployment benefits?
Yes, if you've already had an approved training decision made and you've already received your determination, that will continue based on that decision that was already completed on the claim.
Yeah, the next question is the ACE/GED program with Santa Fe Community College part of the approved education for work searching?
Unfortunately, no, that is not a valid program that we can clear. Remember, it does have to be part of the WIOA program through the local workforce connection offices, or the TRA, which is the Trade Readjustment Act program, or the apprenticeship program. But those are the only three that we can accept for waivers.
This question is for Michelle. What other services can the New Mexico Workforce Connection provide?
So the other services that we can provide, we can, of course, provide with employment services, helping with interviewing, mock interviewing, resume building. We also provide hiring events. So that is something that we are really getting out there and doing in our communities right now, is having hiring events where we have great employers looking for people to hire right away. So our offices can be that gateway of finding out when the hiring events are, and how quickly an individual can get hired is as quickly as 24 to 48 hours with our hiring events. So I would highly encourage you to come into our offices to use that service. But we also have the service of computer use. If you needed to look for work, you could use our computers. If you needed to fax any kind of information into an employer or into a respective office for some kind of employment, you can definitely use our offices. We also have phones. If you are having issues with your phone, you don't have a phone, or you know a family member who's having issues with their phones, we do have phones that are available for use as well. So we definitely have a lot of different resources for getting somebody back into the workforce. So I would highly encourage anybody who is looking for work to visit our Workforce Connection offices, where we can definitely help you get back into the workforce.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that response. And I just also want to note that ready.nm.gov, that website I was referring to earlier, can help you connect you to employment opportunities, training, and education programs that are right in your own backyard.
Stacy, I just wanted to add one other thing too that came to mind with the work search waivers, activities, and other types of questions around work search. It's important to also note that we communicate with all of the employers in the state of New Mexico, that there is a portal available on the DWS website that allows them to submit the names and information of individuals to whom they offer suitable work who don't accept the suitable work. Again, one of the primary eligibility criteria for receiving UI benefits is that you are able and available and willing to accept suitable work. So if you do apply with an employer and they extend a job offer to you and you do not accept it, then that employer has been noticed to submit those names, not knowing whether or not they are on unemployment insurance benefits. And we'll pull those list of individuals, and there may be an immediate and direct impact to your eligibility effective immediately. So keep that in mind as you're applying for work to fulfill your work search requirements. Is failure to accept suitable work could certainly impact your eligibility immediately.
Thank you. The next question is, being older, I feel it's harder to get hired for a job, even though there are many openings. How can I overcome this?
That's mine. So I would highly encourage you to come into our Workforce Connection online system. There are so many wonderful opportunities out there, and so many ways that we can help you prep and get ready for an interview. And if you could just call our Workforce Connection office, explain that you would like to get some help with skilling up or in an interview, mock interview even, we would be more than happy to help you do that. And also walk you through the application process, as well. So we truly are in our Workforce Connection offices to help you get back to work, to help ease that sense of dread of, oh my gosh, is this going to work? Am I doing the right thing? Are they going to hire me? And this is for all ages. It's not just one age group. Everybody experiences that. So, we definitely can help with getting you comfortable and getting you with also the right employer that is going to be a good fit for you as well.
Okay, the next question is, I keep trying to call the operations center, but it's hard to get through. Do you have recommended days and times for me to call?
Absolutely. We definitely recommend Tuesday through Friday, anytime after 11 a.m. is the best time to call. And if you try to get in and you don't, then even giving it an hour, but we certainly are doing best after 11 a.m. Tuesday through Friday.
Okay, the next question is, I'd like to go back to school for higher education, and I will call the Ready New Mexico line, but I'm intimidated on what to say. Do you have any advice on how I can approach this?
Yeah, great question. I mean, just that's all you have to say is you just have to tell the person on the other end that I'm ready to go back to school. And even if you don't know for what or how to start, that's what our job is, to connect the dots between the desire and the opportunities and the resources so that we can get you on your way.
And Ricky, if I could just add, I just putting in the chat right now, the Ready New Mexico 800 number.
Mhm.
And that number we have listed right there, 800 in the chat, 1-800-303-3599. The line is open from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Secretary Serna. And if I can just add, this Ready New Mexico is a no judgment zone, but I do also encourage you, check out the website before you make a call. Start to see what pathways you want to venture into, where are the high demand growing fields. We have that all highlighted on the website, and that could be a good start for you when you connect with one of our agents.
Thank you. And this one's also in regards to Ready New Mexico. Can you explain how you sort employment on the website?
Go ahead, Secretary Rodriguez.
Thank you, Secretary Serna. Yeah, how we did that is we actually pulled data from the Department of Workforce Solutions dependent on industry. So we have healthcare, solar and renewable energy, education, very basic types of employment opportunity categories based on that data that we have on our state website. Secretary Serna, am I missing the point on this one?
No. So if you're asking how you go into find and sort, you'll go into job seekers and then click on employment opportunities. And then it'll start you off by the county, and you'll want to click on the county you live in or that you're interested in working, and you click go. All right. And then from there, the employment opportunities for that county will come up. It'll tell you who the employer is, the job, and then the salary, and then direct link on how to apply for that work.
Thank you, Secretary Serna.
Sure.
And that's also the same for the training and education portal as well.
Right.
Okay, the next question is, I saw a job on the Hot Jobs videos, but I missed the opportunity when it was. Can I still call to apply for that job, or is it over when the week is over?
Okay, that's mine. And yes, you could still apply for that job. If you look at that video and you see that job posting number, all you have to do is give us a call, tell us that you're interested in that job, and we will look at getting with you and getting you connected with that employer.
Yeah, the next question is, after my PEUC benefits end, do I simply just apply for regular state benefits?
So you will get a link on your claim. It'll say either apply for unemployment benefits, or it'll say apply for extended benefits. depending on which one you qualify for. So you'll just log into your claim to see which program you can apply once they're completed.
Thank you. This next question is for me. It says, I did not get to watch the entire webinar. How can I watch this webinar from the beginning? So we are recording this webinar right now, and it will be available on the YouTube page for New Mexico Department of Workforce Solutions. So if you just go to YouTube/NMDWS, it will be up tomorrow. So you'll be able to watch the video in its entirety. And in the description, we will also put the links that were mentioned in today's webinar as well. See, the next question is, I clicked on my county for jobs on the Ready site, but most of the jobs are from completely different county other than mine.
Michelle, could that indicate that those jobs are available in that county, perhaps remotely?
Yes, it could be a possible telework opportunity. And if there are any questions on that job that you specifically see, if you see it on the Ready New Mexico website, you can also call the 800 number. We can just also walk you through that process just to make sure that also you're funneling the information correctly or inputting the information as well correctly.
Thank you. And secretaries, I wanted to ask if either or both of you could talk about the certified safe New Mexico businesses and how people can know about those as well.
Sure. So I can field that, Secretary Rodriguez, if maybe you want to find the link. Let me go here, business support. If you click on business support and go to become NM Safe certified, the NM Safe certified program, of course, is not a Ready NM project. It actually stems from the tourism department, I believe, at the state of New Mexico. So when you click on the link to provide information for businesses on become NM certified safe, it'll redirect you to all the information necessary to complete the application and become certified. And of course, the requirements necessary to become certified.
Thank you. The next question is, I have received an offer of work. However, there is no salary compensation, only stock. How do I report this?
Miss Jeanette.
So we would have to look into that one a little bit closer in order to determine what exact type of work that is. If you're not getting a regular check and you're only getting stock options, that can complicate things a little bit. So call into the operations center to speak to a customer service agent so that we can get somebody to look at your claim and answer that question more specifically.
Thank you. Next question is, when will we see the link to reapply for extended benefits? This is for FDEB1. Should we expect that soon, or will it be around the September 4th cutoff?
So you will not see the extension to the application to file for the extended benefits until after September 4th.
Next question is, how do we find telework on ready.nm.gov?
You know, I actually saw that question, and that's not something that we've actually separated out from vacancies in our job search. So it's something we definitely need to address with our team to see if we can pull that out of the data out of the Department of Workforce Solutions website and see how we can integrate it on ready.nm.gov. Thanks for the idea and suggestion.
Michelle, is there a way to do that in the Workforce Connection online system, jobs.state.nm.us?
An individual can actually type in telework, and it will bring up any positions or postings that would be telework. Now, it wouldn't, it should bring them up only for their region that they live in. unless they click into a different region, would they get, a different location. So when you go into our Workforce Connection online system, you enter in the area, the county that you're in, or the area that you're in. And if you type in telework, it's going to bring up those opportunities that are telework for that region. If you're looking at possibly moving somewhere else out of the county that you live in, and maybe you're wanting to move elsewhere in the state, and if you want to find out if there's other opportunities as well, what you would do is, again, change the location and enter telework, and it's going to give you those postings, those job postings for that respective area.
Thank you. Next question is, if you're on PUA, can you apply for regular benefits after September 4th?
So you can apply for regular benefits. However, if you're currently on PUA, that means that you did not qualify for regular benefits because you did not have either enough money to qualify for a standard unemployment claim with regular employment, or you've already exhausted all of your programs. So you will be able to file. It's just going to depend on what the last 18 months worth of employment history looks like.
Okay, the next question is, I'm a senior veteran professional and interviewed several times last month. Employers have stated that I have good interviewing skills and told my resume is great, but never get hired. Would going to other job websites help, or do you recommend just the state workforce job site?
What and I'll let Michelle jump in here too, but what I would recommend is a direct referral. I think what's important is when you come in or work with one of our career consultants, right, they're available through the ready.nm chat line or toll-free number to sit with them and discuss specifically some things like your skills, your veteran status, to align them with the employers who are looking for exactly what you have to offer, and sending a direct referral from our office to that employer based on that match. So that's what I would encourage, first of all. In fact, we have vet reps that specifically work with employers who are looking to add veterans to the workforce, specifically in their ranks. So Michelle, I'll let you add more if you have anything additional.
Yes, I do actually, and thank you for all that wonderful information, Secretary Serna. I do want to add that we specifically do have veteran employment representatives that help our veterans with employment, and getting that direct referral is so important, but also our hiring events. We would also, on top of a direct referral, we would want you to come in, and we would want to get you face-to-face in a hiring event with an employer and have all that set up for you right away, so that you could come in, actually meet with an employer. They would, be expecting that, they would meet with you, and that way you could walk away with a potential job offer. But definitely we would want to set up that one-to-one, face-to-face interaction for you with a direct referral or a hiring event.
Okay, we have reached the end of our webinar. Would you like to provide any last comments, secretaries?
I just want to encourage you all to access the resources that the Department of Workforce Solutions has available to help you get back to work or get into a training program. I know that for many, many years we've come to be known the Labor Department, right? But that's actually a portion of what we do. Getting unemployed, employed, and getting underemployed a higher wage is really something that we're dedicated to doing for all New Mexicans. It's free. We connect you with the resources, the jobs, the opportunities, and we look forward to helping you. Thank you for joining us.
And I just want to echo what Secretary Serna said. I also want to mention New Mexico is home to 29 public institutions and tribal colleges here in New Mexico. So more than likely you're within a 60-mile radius of a campus, and ready.nm.gov is really a resource for you to use so that you can find those training and education programs close to home.
Thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.